Not yet seeing, but it's loading.
Okay, welcome to Group 4, Project Procurement Management. My name is Anthony Tayu, and I am together with two other colleagues, Mr. Binaisa Emmanuel Taban and Mr. K. Ben Bosco. We have two questions at hand, and one of them is identify and discuss the roles and responsibilities of user departments in the project procurement management cycle. We shall begin with that and proceed to the other. The approach is that we are going to define keywords. One of them is user department and give examples of the same. Then we shall define project procurement management cycle and follow it up with a chart. Then we shall go on to elaborate on the roles and responsibilities of user departments in project procurement management cycle. First things first, I'm going to call upon my colleague, Mr. Binaisa Taban, to take us through the definitions of the keywords. Welcome, Bwana Binaisa.
Yeah, thank you, Anthony. The term user department means any division or a branch, a section, or a project unit of a given organization or institution which initiates procurement, uses goods and services procured, and appraise the performance of the provider of that specific department. Examples that we have for user departments ranges from the finance department that are responsible for handling the finances of the institution or the organization. We have the production department that also handles the production of goods and services in the given organization. We have the marketing department that deals in the marketing of the product that has been produced. When we move ahead, we look at the project procurement management cycle. We define these as the process or steps that are followed in procurement, use and disposal of goods and services while implementing a given task or activity in an organization. The cycle here begins with drawing procurement plans and budget, and it ends with the review process or the performance of that specific contract. Up to this far, I give it back to you, Anthony, to take us through the chart that we have down there. Thank you very much.
Many thanks, Binaisa. And what I have here, what you can see on the screen, is a chart that shows the procurement cycle. And they are numbered. There are boxes in the center that shows you what happens at each stage. One is the procurement, then number 3, the procurement requisitions, and the last one is the contract management, okay, the appraisal. My colleague, K. Ben Bosco, is going to give us an explanation of what happens in these different places, but in the next slide. Welcome, K. Ben Bosco.
Thank you, Anthony. Just to bring briefly about the role of the user department in the procurement cycle is that the first thing is that they initiate the procurement process by identifying the needs in the department. After identifying these needs, normally they prepare and submit these budgets. I mean, this data to the procurement unit for their planning, and these reports are normally submitted once a year or 2 times a year for the purpose of the planning of the procurement department. They do recommend statement of requirements unit for them to procure exactly what they really want. The user department also manage their own procurement process with the supplier in relation with the procurement and disposal unit. It is the role of the procurement unit, the user department, to appraise the suppliers and other service providers. They participate in bid evaluation processes when it comes to the evaluation, because these are the items that they need, and therefore they need to participate in the evaluation of who is supposed to deliver these items. They certify all invoices for payments to suppliers and service providers, because at least they know what has been delivered, and therefore they have to approve before these payments are done by the financial unit. They maintain and archive records of procurement management. This is normally done for the purpose of future references. They also prepare any report for submission to the procurement and disposal unit and accounting officer for payment purpose, because if it relates to delivery of items that are done in bids, they have to give reports of whatever is delivered as per what is agreed. Back to you, Anthony.
Thank you very much, K. Ben Bosco. Now we go to question 2. Identify and discuss the roles and responsibilities of user departments in contract management cycle. Again, like we did in the first question, we shall pick out keywords in this question. One of them is contract, and then contract management, and we explain what they are, such that after that we move to see the roles of user departments and their responsibilities in contract management cycle. So I begin with a contract. Now, this is a mutually binding agreement which obligates the seller to provide a specified product or service and obligates the buyer to pay for it. On the other hand, contract management is the process which ensures that both parties to the contract fully meet their respective obligations in order to efficiently and effectively deliver the objectives required from either party in the contract. With that said, we want to now bring out the roles and responsibilities of the user departments in contract management, and I welcome Binay Sataban to take us through some of the ones highlighted on the page, maybe not all, and thereafter he invites K. Ben Bosco to continue. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Anthony. One of the roles is to ensure that a provider meets all performance or delivery obligations that is pertaining this contract. They also ensure that service provider submits all required documents, which is really to back up the agreement or the contract that has been signed. They ensure adequate cost, quality, and time control are really appropriately maintained also in the contract that has been formulated. Ensure obligations are complete prior to the closure of the contract file that is under their own management. And as this is clearly mentioned here, I will not really go into the details of the whole thing. I will give the floor back to my colleague Ben to summarize on the few other that are down for him to take in. I give it back to you, Anthony and Ben.
Ben, please.
Yeah, thank you. The user department as well recommend termination of contracts. It provides details of the reason for termination of a contract and submits to the procurement and disposal unit to obtain the approval of the contract committee. They report on the progress or completion of a contract. This can be relating to, let's say, construction department, when they have to report, the contract has to be paid in stages, and therefore the user unit has to report on this. They manage the organization and supplier relationship because they deal with the business. I mean, it is the user department that is really in the center between the supplier and the organization, and therefore it is their role to ensure that there's good relationship between the two. Thank you. Back to you, Anthony.
Thank you very much, colleagues. Now, we have some references that you can see for yourself. These provide the source of information we shared with you. Feel free to contact them at any time. They are majorly the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets Authority books or regulations of the Republic of Uganda. I don't need to read all of them. They are clearly stated. We want to thank you very much for giving us your time. And then please like our link. We want to thank you again. All the very best and bye-bye.
Bye.